Hi everybody, this is Danny Class. One of the things that we learn when we are taking guitar lessons is how to do chord progressions. But there's another way to get some interesting practice material and also just music material for your own compositions and for your own musical enjoyment. And that is by learning one chord and one scale and playing them together in different ways. And so that's what we're going to be doing today, taking one chord, an E minor 7 chord, and one scale, the E Minor Pentatonic Scale, and seeing how we can kind of not only stretch them, but kind of go inside them and explore some interesting musical territory. Okay, so first we'll go through the fingerings of the chord, then we'll do with the scale, and then we'll talk about kind of how to blend them. And then before you leave, I'll show you one other note that might work pretty well with this whole idea. So here come the fingerings of the E minor 7 chord that I chose for this lesson. That's the first one. Second one. Third one. And the fourth one. Okay, and to play them, or to practice them, maybe just first go through them a bit, and then find different ways to kind of blend them a bit, and that's where you kind of let your right hand take over, or if you're picking your pick. So just that alone, you can get some interesting practice material, especially if you start doing arpeggios, which I do a lot. Okay, here come the fingerings of the E Minor Pentatonic Scale that I chose for this lesson. It's the first one, second one. Of course, a lot of you might already know these. Here's the third one. Fourth one. Fifth one. And the last one, the sixth one, which I'm going to do simply by taking that very first one and subtracting 12. Okay, and so to blend those, of course, there's lots of possibilities. I would suggest, if this is new to you, to kind of first memorize the fingering patterns and then kind of slide between them. And if you ever hit like an off note, like, I don't know, maybe just slide down or up to wherever you want to go. Okay, and so let's now talk about how to blend them. And now the possibilities, again, just with one scale and one chord, are really kind of multiplying. So what I would suggest is stick to first or one position. We'll start with that first position, the first chord, an E minor 7 chord, and then whenever you feel ready, play a nearby scale, nearby on the fretboard. I'll play the second one. Back to that chord. To a different scale. And then whenever you feel you're ready, slide down to the next scale or chord. Let's go to this E minor 7 chord there. Slide down to the next chord, throw a scale in. You know, open notes work well with both of these, but the scale, that open E is a good choice. Maybe to the next chord and the scale nearby. And work your way back up the other way. And then I would say once you're comfortable doing that, then try some bigger jumps and bigger gaps in positioning. So starting from that first one, first E minor 7 chord, down to this one here, maybe back up here. So another thing to keep in mind as you do it a lot, you'll kind of get an intuition and a muscle memory for all these notes, and your musical sensibility will kind of take over. You won't think so much about it, and you'll just kind of play what you feel. Okay, one other thing to keep in mind is if you get a little bored with this, you can always throw in an F sharp up to a G or down to a G. It's a note that works pretty well in this key. So, for example, in this E minor chord, E minor 7, if I take off the G, and put it back on, that could be kind of an interesting way to kind of mess with this a bit. Let's try it here. Maybe it might not work as well. Let's see. Yeah, and with the scales too. Sliding up from the F sharp to the G, throwing in back the chord. Okay, so hopefully you found that useful, and I would suggest once you kind of exhaust the possibilities, pick your own scale and or chord. I start with the chord. It doesn't matter, but we'll just say we'll start with the chord. Pick your own chord that you like and find a scale that goes with it, and then do the same thing. Play the chord in multiple places, play the scale in multiple places, and then blend them, and you should get some interesting musical information mileage out of that. So I hope you found the lesson useful as a way to kind of expand your practice and your playing in general. Stay well. Please remember to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.